Welcome back, dear friends and supporters. In today's video, we're going to be installing one of the most requested paid scripts, the Gym Mechanic script. A significant number of players in the city I play in have been asking for this script non-stop. There are many mechanic enthusiasts who love playing as mechanics and really want this script in their city. While I don't usually endorse paid scripts, I truly feel that this one stands out as the best choice for your server. Let's get into it. Making this video took many days and required a lot of resources. If you feel that this video made things easier for you and helped you create a great city using my content, please consider dropping a tip on my Ko-Fi. Your support will motivate me to release more requested content in the future. Make sure to purchase the script from Tbex. Any leaked or scammed versions won't work properly or align with this video. The latest updates to the script brought several improvements, so it's important to use the most recent version. Once you've downloaded the script from Keymaster, unzip it and add it to your preferred server directory. In my case, I've created a folder for all Jim's scripts, as most of his scripts support one another, making it ideal to keep them together. Next, you'll need the Gym bridge to ensure smooth integration. You can download it from GitHub, and I've provided the download link at the description of the video. Now, unzip the file and add it to your standalone folder. Make sure the standalone folder is ensured first in your server.cfg, followed by the Gym folder. Once that's done, open the Gym Mechanic script, and at the top, you'll find an install folder that contains everything needed for installation. First, let's start by adding the images. Copy them and paste them into the QB inventory/html/images folder. Next, go back to the install folder, open the items.txt file, and copy all the items listed. Then paste these items into the Qbcore/shared/items Lua file. Be sure not to miss any commas at the end of the lines, as this could cause issues. Finally, go back to the installation folder and open the install.md file. There, you'll find a detailed explanation of the entire script and additional information to ensure a smooth setup. The Gym Mechanic script has the capability to manage the existing harness item in your server. You can toggle this feature in the config file by setting config.harness.harnessControl =true. If you decide to enable this feature, follow these additional steps to ensure proper integration, as the harness functionality will now be handled by the Gym Mechanic script. Delete the file seatbelt.lua from the QB Small Resources client folder. Remove the mentioned 3 events from QB Small Resources server main.lua. You can easily locate the events by using the search feature. Press Ctrl+F on your keyboard. Copy the first line of the event and paste it into the search bar to find the exact line. Once you find it, remove the event as shown in the video. Make sure to follow the same process for the remaining 2 events to ensure everything is removed properly. To prevent your HUD from throwing errors related to the harness export, you'll need to update the export name to match Gym Mechanic. Here's how to do it. Open the QB HUD folder, navigate to the client file, and search for the function related to the harness. Replace that function with the Gym Mechanic export. We'll do the same update in the QB radial menu, as it's also using the small resource export for the harness. Open the QB radial menu folder, then navigate to the client folder and open the main.lua file. Use Ctrl+F to search for the export related to the harness and locate the small resource export. Replace that export with the gym mechanic export. This update will ensure that the QB radial menu works seamlessly with the gym mechanic script, avoiding any conflicts. Now, head back to the install folder, and toward the bottom, you'll find some key snippets that need to be added to ensure proper saving of item info. First, open the inventory folder, navigate to the HTML folder, and then access the JS folder where you'll find the app.js file. Once inside, use Ctrl+F to search for else if and locate a similar code structure. When you find it, simply add the mech board and harness info snippets below any of the existing item info sections. This will guarantee that the necessary item data for the mech board and harness is correctly stored and functions as expected within the inventory system. Now we're approaching the second to last step of the installation, where we'll be updating the properties of the cosmetic items. Start by opening the Qbcore folder, then head into the client folder and find the function.lua file. Once inside, use Ctrl+F to search for the function mentioned in the install.md file. After you've located the correct function, go back to the installation folder and open the properties.txt file. Copy everything from this file and replace the existing content in the function you just found. There are two functions to update here. You can either handle both at once or replace them separately to avoid any confusion. This step ensures that all cosmetic items are updated with the correct properties, allowing everything to function smoothly. After extensive testing and productive discussions, I'm thrilled to announce that RocketNode and CODEIN are now official partners. We recognize the critical importance of providing top-tier hosting services to ensure your players enjoy an exceptional FiveM experience. RocketNode comes with DDoS protection, 24/7 support, and cloud backups. They offer extremely customizable FiveM server hosting, allowing you to create your own server with just one click. Their easy-to-use control panel makes it simple to set up and modify your FiveM server. If you're tired of searching for a reliable provider for your community, start building with RocketNode today. Make sure to use the link in the description and get a 25% discount on your server by using the promo code provided below. Don't miss out on this great opportunity to enhance your server with a reliable hosting solution. The final step of the installation is importing the SQL file into your database. You can find the SQL file in the install folder. Make sure you're importing it into the correct database. Once that's done, we've officially completed the installation part. Now let's move on to the setup. Open the config file in the script folder. It's quite a large file. Make sure to toggle the settings according to the scripts you're using. For instance, if you're using QB scripts like me, go ahead and change all aux references into QB to match your setup. Ensure everything is set up correctly and assigned based on the specific needs of your city. If you want changes to affect only owned vehicles, keep this option enabled. Decide if specific items, like a harness, require the mechanic job for installation. and restrict the addition of these items to mechanics or other specific job roles. Next, determine whether repairs should be free. Set this to true if repairs are to be done at no cost. If repairs require materials, make sure to enable the option to remove these materials from the job stash. Keep in mind, this feature will be disabled if the Requires Job setting is off. You can also customize manual repair settings according to the city's requirements. This setup can be adjusted further to fit the unique needs of your server. The main part of the setup is located in the shared folder, where you'll find the location.lua file. This is where we need to set up the mechanic locations. It's a relatively simple process, but requires attention to detail. By default, there are 10 locations configured and ready to use, but I've edited the location.lua to have only 3. In this case, I'm just replacing the default location coordinates with new ones. For this setup, I'm using the Top Gear YMap. Special thanks to Energy Shop for providing this high-quality YMap, as they always do. You can find the download link in the video description. For an easier integration and setup of the polyzone, I recommend using no-clip mode. This makes navigating and positioning much smoother when creating the polyzone around the mechanic shop. The first step in the setup is to create a polyzone around the mechanic shop. To do this, type the command /PEC create and set the type to poly. When prompted, give the zone a name. You'll see a red line start at one corner. From there, move to each of the other 3 corners, typing /PZAD at each point. Once you've added all points, you'll see a boxed polyzone on the map. Make sure the zone covers all the inside parts of the shop. To finish, type /PZ finish. The zone coordinates, in Vector2 format, will then appear in the Qbcore framework folder, the same location as the server configuration file. Open the poly file, copy only the Vector2 coordinates, and paste them into the location.lua file, where the mechanic shop location is defined. Now that we've completed the polyzone, let's move on to setting up a stash. To place a stash, the first thing you need to do is find an object, also known as an entity. This is where most newbies make mistakes. Sometimes the location you choose may not have an entity to attach the stash to. To check for entities, open the admin menu, go to developer mode, and toggle both display objects and free aim mode. This will reveal all nearby objects. Once you locate an object to focus on, you can copy the coordinates. While you can use the display menu for the exact coordinates, here, I'm just copying a vector 4. The first object in range will be attached to the stash. We will follow the same process for the shop as well. I'm speeding things up to keep the video short. Next up is the crafting setup. Most mechanic shops come with a crafting table. Simply find one, note its location, and add it to the configuration. Next, I'm setting up the manual repair shop. This feature can function without an additional object since it comes with one when you set the location. Personally, I recommend keeping it outside for public use when mechanics are not online, but for demonstration purposes, I'm placing it inside. After this, I'll move on to setting up the job garage. Make sure to include the gym job garage if you're adding a garage location. You can download the script from GitHub, and I've provided the link in the video description. Now, let's add the payment prop. In the configuration, I've toggled the option to use the payment machine for both clock-in and the boss menu, so everything will be managed through this machine. When you copy the coordinates, remember that they will be at head level. Make sure to reduce the Z value by 0.1 to 1 point to center it properly. Now, to save time, you can simply toggle no-clip mode and position your head exactly where you want the prop to be placed. This will make it much easier to get the coordinates right without any extra adjustments. Now you can assign which specific tasks can be performed in this mechanic shop. For example, you can set it so that only cosmetic work is allowed at this location. Similarly, you can restrict the types of vehicles that can be serviced here, ensuring only certain types of cars are eligible for repairs or modifications at this shop. Now you can add the blip coordinates for the shop. When users print a preview of the customization work, the work order will be sent directly to the Discord channel via the webhook. This helps keep track of all tasks and customization work in an organized manner. Now, you can safely remove the QB mechanic shop and QB vehicle failure scripts since all their features are now included in the gym mechanic script. This helps keep your setup clean and reduces redundancy. Now let's see how the script works. As you can see, the manual repair workbench has spawned. This allows players to repair their cars when no mechanics are available. When a mechanic player enters the zone, the script will automatically toggle the on-duty function. However, make sure you're already assigned as a mechanic to see this feature in action. Now let's take action with a car. You can check the car's damage by using the /check damage command, which will display all the damages. As a mechanic, the first thing you need is a mech board. You can get this and other repair items from the shop. I'll grab a few repair items and some cosmetic items. Remember, with the current configuration, all repair items need to be placed in the job stash to be utilized for repairs. Another important integration involves the items plastic and iron, which can be obtained from the recycle job and mining job. These materials are crucial for repairing cars. I've uploaded videos for both jobs on my YouTube channel, and the links are provided in the description. Business owners will need to source these materials from players to keep the mechanic business running smoothly. Now, the toolbox is used to discover the cosmetic features of the car, while the mech board is used to identify damages and the resources needed for repairs. If you have the correct resources stored in the job stashes, you can fix the car on the spot. Now, players or mechanics can do a preview of car, can adjust the preferences in the config file. This will enable a work order preview. To do this, enter the car and type the command/preview to open the menu. Here, you can experiment with different cosmetic options for the car. Once you're satisfied with the preview, close it, and a work order will be added to your inventory. This work order can be handed to the mechanic, who can then use it to complete the job. It's an easy way for both mechanics and players to handle business efficiently. An exciting feature of this script is the Nitro installation. You can install Nitro in cars, but make sure you have the necessary items. Refilling Nitro can be done by anyone, anywhere, at any time. The NOS settings can be found in the config file. You can control the NOS mode and the purge spray mode by pressing the control key. You'll see the changes on the screen. You can also increase the boost by pressing the page up and down keys on your keyboard. This makes for a dynamic and customizable experience for players. The purge mode installation can only be done on select cars, so make sure to pick the correct car for this feature if you're planning to offer it as part of your business. This adds an extra layer of strategy for both mechanics and players when choosing which cars to modify. Now, mechanic players can bill the car owner for their services. The script currently integrates with the GIM payment script, which you can find on GitHub. The link is provided in the description of the video, and it's a drag-and-drop script for easy setup. This makes handling payments simple and efficient for mechanics and car owners alike. Please note, if you're on a newer version of the Qbcore framework released after May 2024, there's a chance this script might not work as intended, as it relies on older inventory systems and functions. If you're using the newer framework, I don't recommend purchasing this script until it's updated. Alternatively, you can revert to the older framework for installation. That wraps up the tutorial. We've covered everything from setting up the mechanic shop, creating polyzones, adding stashes, configuring manual repair stations, and even installing exciting features like Nitro and Purge mode. With the GIM payment script integrated, your mechanics can easily bill clients, making the process seamless. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out the links in the description for all the resources mentioned, including the recycle and mining job videos. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave any questions in the comments. Any tips through Ko-Fi are greatly appreciated. See you in the next video. I am very happy to announce that CODEIN has now crossed 4,200 plus active members, making it one of the best FiveM developers and server owners hubs. Fueled by this increase in member count, we've added developer AI bots to help fix code snippets for users facing issues. Moreover, users can also create logos for their servers using our logo-creating AI bots. With support for all frameworks from thousands of developers, you'll also find all the necessary free items needed to start a simple roleplay server. So what's stopping you from joining? Join now!